Welcome to HyVee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine HyVee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Hey friends, welcome back. It's HyVee Today. This is Tony Tone. It is Monday, the 27th of July, and I got a haircut, so I feel good about that. I went a little shorter on the sides. I was thinking, is that the best way to get rid of the gray? And turns out, let me look, a little bit. Now I feel like my head just looks gray, though, because my hair is so short. So I'm embracing the gray. Listen, I'm not going to dye my hair. It's one of those things. I'm going to get it cut, and it felt good to do so. You always feel a little lighter when you get the haircut, right? And you're like, oh, this is nice. Less time getting ready. So it's just a little bit of a and then and that's it, and you're out the door. So if you haven't got a haircut in a while, go get one. I have friends that are like riding out the quarantine, no cut. You know, maybe I thought about that. I'm like, as I was walking in to get my haircut, I'm like, do I ask for a mullet? I don't think there's anything in the HyVee dress code that says no mullet, right? That could be a good look. Maybe I'll do that. I'll let it grow back out, and we'll see what happens. I want to start with the Lutheran Living Senior Campus weather forecast. If you haven't noticed, and of course, I thought I had an umbrella in my car, Ella, and I did not. So put an umbrella in your car on days when it's raining. Today, Monday, cloudy with rain on and off, a high of 84 or 87. 87's better. The forecast changes all the time. I checked that 25 minutes ago, and look at that. It's changed. Tonight, clear and cool down to... Oh, that's tomorrow? Oh, so I was right, everybody. Chad's living in the future. Oh, look at that. So there you go. Cloudy, not as humid. Little rain on and off, 84. Clear tonight, 61 the low. And then tomorrow, mostly sunny and pleasant, 87. So, yeah, those storms that rolled in last night had a little bit more, bark than bite, I thought. They looked kind of intense, and then it just sort of cruised on down 61. I know it rained, obviously, and stormed a little bit, but it looked a lot worse. A couple of things to mention really quick. The Muskie softball team is playing in the state tournament today at 1 p.m. They had a send-off for Muskie softball yesterday at the high school. So if you were there to help send off the crew, thank you for supporting the Muskies. I know that they're excited about their journey to state. It's the first time they've gone to state since 2014. So, and what's nice is that we have a couple softball players that work here at the store. So there you go. Good pick. Willie Lesa, Quinn Reese, and the crew, amongst family and friends. The players helped with the send-off. So we wish them well. Again, that game at 1 p.m. this afternoon. There's the team. When they qualified, they punched the ticket to state. And then at the same time, there was a send-off for L&M. So congrats to our friend, head coach Brian Butler and the crew. Falcons going back to state, a place they're very familiar with, having won a state championship a couple years ago. So good luck to the Falcons. I think we even have their bracket, right? So we can see the Falcons play, I believe it's tomorrow at, what do we got, Chad? We've got 4:30. Okay. So that's kind of a look. And, it's nice to be talking about sports, right? So good luck to L&M. Good luck to Muscatine. And did Durant go? I feel like Durant went to state. I don't want to neglect any other area teams. So if I missed anybody, I apologize. Two things really quick. The Make My Monday deal today at the store on the 27th only. You can turn meat into cheaper gas. So your car is steak powered or seafood powered or deli meat powered. And as I always say, unless you're driving a hybrid or a Fred Flintstone mobile, you're putting gas in your car, and if you can control the price at the pump, you should with your fuel saver. I got 25 cents on my fuel saver, which I know is not a lot compared to what some people have, but I'm excited because I won't have to pay full price. So come into the store today and take advantage of that. And then last but not least, Muscatine apparently loves roses. So I'm here to tell you, the crew at the floral shop was busy last week. They've got a dozen roses for $10. Last week, Catherine, floral shop manager, told me she started the week with almost 400 dozen roses. When I saw her yesterday, she said she had 12 dozen left. No, I'm not good at math, but that's a lot of roses. This goes through August 4th, so if you missed it, check it out. That kind of looks like 3D, doesn't it? Look at that coming into your television or your phone. Stop and smell those roses, won't you? Did you get your 3D glasses? Tomorrow's episode of the Hy-Vee Today show is in 3D. So make sure you cut out your 3D glasses on the back of your cereal box. Anybody do that growing up? It never looked as good as it was supposed to, right? You get the 3D glasses. All right, so check that out, and we'll talk more about the rose deal later. Okay, let's get to our guest who's patiently waiting. I was telling John, got some ideas. And then does he ask you, or do you just get voluntold, or how does that work?
You get asked.
Okay, that's good. So
you get asked, do you have the time? Can you do it?
Yeah.
That's what we do.
So you could have had the chance to say, I am not going on that guy's show again.
That's what I said last week. But
Man, well, I appreciate
I'm going
it.
this week. So.
I wonder, we're definitely going to talk about a couple of different topics, but as we start, for people that maybe missed the first time you were here, can you give us a little bit of your background, your role at CBI? I mean, on paper, Senior Vice President, Senior Trust Officer, but I just want folks, John, that are watching to know what you're doing every day when you're there.
Well, at CBI Bank and Trust in the Trust Department, our job is to manage people's money and help them with their estate planning needs. We do a lot of things that you wouldn't think about normally. We've got clients, we're paying bills and stuff like that. We're managing money. We're keeping people calm during these types of economic situations that we've been in. We deal with a lot of folks that are older sometimes that need a little more hand-holding, that want to have us handling their money. And a lot of it is some strange things. We'll go and we pick up groceries sometimes for people if we need to, and
wow.
Some of those types of things. That the rest of the bank looks at me and says, "You do what?" And well, we kind of do it from time to time. So
you take care of your customers, your
exactly.
clients. And that's, you know what, and if you're watching and you're going, I had no idea, that's great. That's what you want from a place like CBI Bank and Trust. You want to be able to literally trust them. And certainly, John, we talk about the last 5 or 6 months. There's been a pandemic going on, and in your world, I imagine the phone was ringing, because one of the things that happened when the pandemic really started to ramp up, in this place it was around like March 13th and on. It got very busy. People were purchasing out of fear. There were a lot of unknowns. Certainly, when you look at the economy and the stock market, there was a hit. Was it around the same time? And then what were the implications locally? Because for you, I know that it was probably important to try and tell people, let's not panic, because
yes.
None of us have navigated a pandemic before. Certainly, there's been fluctuations in the market, but never to this scale, right?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing was there was a 35% drop in the market that took just about a month to do. Seeing that is outrageous, and it's a little scary for a lot of people. You got to keep calm and keep working forward, and making sure that you're under the appropriate risk tolerance and under the appropriate asset mix for your situation.
So I remember looking at my 401k. And I was like, oh, wow, that's more money than I thought. And then I looked at it like towards the end of the month of March, and I was like, what happened? But then I've kept an eye on it. And to your point, it has come back, and I feel like, and I don't know the exact amount, but I bet you I'm where I was.
You're going to be close.
Have you seen that ever happen? You're talking about a 35% nosedive, and then to have things kind of cycle back around. Has it ever happened before?
That fast, no. Right. I mean, that 35% drop from market highs to that low in end of March was about a month, and that's just disgusting to see.
Sure. And scary. And I imagine, were you working longer days? Were you just constantly on the phone?
A lot of communication with clients, making sure that they stay calm. They understand the idea is, let's not make drastic decisions that are going to hurt you in the long run.
Right.
Let's make sure that we are working for the future. Mm-hmm. This isn't going to be, always stay the case, but we're not used to seeing, downturns in the market here in the last 10 years. We've not seen these 35% drops by any means.
Well, and that's what you're saying.
Scary.
When you got here, is we've maybe been a little spoiled with respects to stability in the market. Right? And nobody's had to weather a storm like we did. So, but that's where it's, if anything, I mean, of course, nobody could have predicted that, but this is kind of in your wheelhouse to be able to step in and say, hey, listen, I'm your guy. Here's what I think is going to happen. Stay calm. And then for the people that did, they have to be so relieved that they trusted you, took your advice, and now are reaping the benefits of, yeah, big hit, totally get it, but here it came back. How are we looking stability-wise, whether it was at the close of last week or forecasting ahead for this week or the next couple of weeks? What kind of trajectory are you seeing?
We've seen some market turmoil, obviously. You know, the down market has hit the last last week a little bit. Frankly, I think it was too much too fast, somewhat. But it's not, the idea isn't, we're not trying to second guess the market and try to say, oh, we need to get out and get in. That's when you're going to get burnt. You know, making sure that you're appropriately risk tolerant and you have your assets set up the way it should be for you, for the future, how much time you have for that money to grow.
For people that are watching that, you know, maybe haven't set up that 401k or at the same time maybe are looking at a trust, what do they need to do? Is it just having that initial conversation? Is it identifying what I know that's two different people potentially, someone that may need a trust and someone that is just getting started, but you can do both, right? So that's what's important to note is you have one-stop shop with John and the crew.
We can talk to you about your estate planning, about your investing. We can't draw up your estate documents. You've got to go see your attorney, but we can help you understand what your needs are there, what you're going to do going forward, what your needs are. I mean, for someone like you, younger kids, you still need a will typically, because you know what's going to happen. And I always have to play the worst case scenario. What happens if both you and your wife die? What happens to the kids? They get, you know, we're worth more money when we're dead than we are alive. At least I know I'm going to be.
Same.
But, you know, and it's going to be something where do we protect the kids from themselves, from others going forward, and then naming guardians and controlling those things. So
definitely don't have a will. And I'm okay admitting that. I mean, whether that's the worst thing you've heard all day or not, I mean, I imagine it won't be.
Most people your age don't think about it.
But should I just do it and get it over? Not get it over with, but here's the other thing. My dad is a little bit older than me. I don't think he has a will either. And I keep telling him, I'm like, you should do this because he has certainly seen people that he knows and loves pass away with wills and without wills. And I'm no expert, but if you don't have one, it's not pretty, right?
Well, it doesn't necessarily go where you want it to go.
Correct.
And how you want it to go.
Correct.
Now the state laws kick in and they control those things, which they're basically reasonable, but they don't know your family situations.
Sure.
They don't know if you need to protect a child from themselves and help them manage money into the future.
Sure. So if we talk about people looking at wanting to toe the water, to invest, again, having a conversation with yourself, what is that first initial meeting like? I mean, do you want to be able to get an idea as far as what they're wanting to do? You have suggestions, I imagine, on where monies can go, and obviously everybody wants to just, you know, buy the Apple stock in 1982 and hit it big and sell it, and you know, I mean, the reality is, right, that doesn't happen that often anymore. So where should somebody go that's interested in starting for the first time? They're like, you know what, this is it. I want to start investing, and John seems like he knows what he's doing. In that initial meeting, what happens? Because I don't know. I haven't had one.
No. So typically, you know, a lot of the people that I talk to when they start investing are simple IRA plans for local businesses and our bank's 401k plan. People need to save for retirement. You know, and they need to typically save until it hurts, so that they can make and have a retirement that's good for them. Now, what we need to see typically when we meet with somebody is to have information on expenses, what they're bringing in, and etc. We usually have older clients, so a lot of our clients are retirement age, or have been retired for a little while, and we sit down with them, make a plan so that they can see what things might look like in the future based on what they're doing now.
It is crazy to think about, and I obviously pay attention, and I'm using myself as the example because I'm here. You know, when I look at, like we'll get paid this Friday, and I'll look at the deductions, and I'll see the 401k amount, and Hy-Vee as a company, and I'm not afraid to admit this because it's something they'll make public if they haven't already. Currently, Hy-Vee matches up to 6% in the 401k. They just announced starting October 1st, that's going to 7%.
Wow.
So that's all, right? That's a good thing, right? So for someone like myself, when I started here, my HR guy, to his credit, Randy Beimer, said, so you want to contribute 6% because they'll match up to that. And he's like, you're literally leaving money on the table if you don't.
Yes.
And initially you go, well, that's a decent amount of money, but it's all about setting yourself up for success. And you just said sometimes you want to contribute till it hurts, and not that it's hurting, but I'm pumped at 7%. I think that's great. I mean, not a lot of companies are doing things like that for their people.
Exactly. What they say is you need to be saving at least 15% a year. And the sad part is they're talking about from age 25.
Hey, I haven't been doing that.
They're not talking about from 35, 40.
Yeah.
They say you should be saving 15% a year starting out.
Sure.
Most of us didn't do that, can't do that.
Sure.
And we got to make up for that later on.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's where, and I think if anything, one of the times I was logged into my app, I think I bumped the contribution amount, and then I was like, wait, I'm surpassing the amount that they're matching. But again, it's not.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Now the first thing though, the match is 100% return.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If it's a 100% match.
Yeah.
Nothing I'm going to do or anybody else is going to do for you is going to get you 100% return on that first that contribution. And that's crucial to not leave, like you said, leave that free money on the table, basically.
And there you go on the screen. There's, by the way, the CBI website, as Chad's been showing you, so much good information. If this conversation is overwhelming, and I know talking about planning and retirement and investing and trusts can be a lot, but just jump online, look through the info. Maybe you'll be surprised at the options that are available. I didn't know that you guys did employee benefit plan administration. Like, that's super cool. Investment management. But yeah, the trust thing is interesting. I think the last time you were here, I spoke to the fact that my mom's parents, my grandpa was probably, and grandma, they were super fiscally responsible. He retired at 50, worked for the phone company, had an awesome pension. They didn't ever go out to dinner. They saved well.
Yep.
And then when they had passed away, they had the wills in place, they had the trusts in place, and they weren't rich or anything like that. But holy moly, did it make things a lot less stressful for my mom and her 4 siblings. So if you're thinking, I don't know if I would ever need a trust, or you don't know until you have a conversation, right?
Exactly.
And now my mom, by the way, is in charge of the trust because unfortunately her sister passed away that was in charge, and then it got to my mom, and I just kind of had to help her deal with some changing over of things. And I felt like I was reading a different language. So that's where people like John, you've got to just say, okay, I don't know what's happening. I promise if you have a question, this guy's going to know the answer. And it's okay if you don't understand the world of finance and trust and how they operate. Are there a lot of folks that have trust set up that you help out? I don't need specifics, and obviously there's confidentialities, but
like I said, there's a lot of people I know of that name the bank as the trustee in their will.
Wow.
They name us as trustees so that, in your situation, it would be someone's got to be trustee if the kids were going to have money and mom and dad were gone.
Right, right.
The same thing goes, we get a lot of trust where there's a child out there where mom and dad want to protect them from themselves, protect them from others that might take advantage of them, and protect the money so that they have it longer into the future rather than giving them a lump sum right up front. So it can get hard getting that big chunk of money all at once for some of these folks because it goes out like water and is gone.
Yeah, you would know if that happened because there'd be like a DeLorean in the parking lot. And you'd be like, did you buy a DeLorean? I'd be like, John, I'm sorry. I got, and yeah, you're right. I mean, but it's also, I want to give you a hypothetical situation that maybe there's a little truth to it. When people come into, well, let's just use this as the example because it's going to happen. So today they're probably going to announce another round of stimulus money. It's going to happen today. It's going to happen. So if you're watching, and listen, I'm not a politician and this isn't about politics, but it seems like a second stimulus for the economy is happening. So I know how much I got in my house. Should I have designated some of that money towards the 401k? Should I have reached out and said, John, I should maybe invest in this? And I can ask right now because it's going to happen again. What should I do when that sum hits the bank in, next couple of weeks?
My biggest concern right now
Yeah.
for people is having that safety net,
Okay.
having the emergency fund,
Okay.
so that you can weather out, okay, I'm on furlough from work for a couple of weeks. What am I going to do going forward? How's that going to work out for us? If you have that emergency fund, then it's going to help you. Most Americans don't have that emergency fund.
What does that fund need to be? Not to interrupt.
Really, if you can have 6 months worth of expenses,
Wow.
you're doing awesome. If you can even, for some of us, if you can even just have 1 month's worth of expenses, that's a big deal.
Sure.
Because most of us don't save that way.
Sure.
Now, the government has put aside some of the restrictions on accessing retirement plans for those that are really in need to get money and get access to funds and can't pay their bills and have been laid off. So that's opened up a lot of different things for some people to be able to do. But shouldn't be the first option that you go to.
And that's the thing. I imagine you've probably answered a lot of questions like that. Maybe as the market took that dive and people took that 35% hit, they want to just extract what's still in there because they feel like it's all going to go. But when that happens, and this is probably before they'd ease those restrictions, you get smoked on taxes, right?
Yeah.
It really ends up being a thing. And then the next tax year comes around and you're like, wait, I didn't make, oh, I did. I took a, so yeah, no, that's an excellent point. But so in a perfect world, 6 months of a safety net. I did not think it would be that long. But that makes sense.
A lot of talking heads say more
Yeah.
than that. My goal is let's at least get something.
Yeah.
Let's get working on that. So let's have that safety net and work through that. But
So again, with respects to that, whether it's the second round of the stimulus or people fall into, somebody passes away and maybe they have an inheritance, there are better options than just put it. Not that there's anything wrong with just putting it in the bank. Obviously, you work at CBI Bank and Trust. You want to put it in the bank. God bless. Bob would say, give us all the dough. It's fine. But to grow it, right? That's where you can say, okay, here's the example. Whether it's a $5,000 stimulus or it's a $50,000 inheritance, have a conversation and look for ways that you can grow that. Right?
come talk to our wealth management team and we'll
Sure.
get you taken care of.
Boy, I hope one time in my life I can talk to the wealth management team. And I know you don't have to be wealthy to talk to the wealth management team, but I feel like I'd roll in there with like a monocle. Hello, friends. Well, it happened, and you can see how wealthy I am because I have a monocle. And no, but the wealth management team is there for everybody.
Yes.
I should mention that. All right. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how. And unfortunately, I mean, you know, the market had that big hit, recovered, but you said a little bit of turmoil, and I wonder if it'll keep kind of. Are you seeing it kind of doing the old roller coaster through? I don't want to say through the election. And again, this isn't about politics, but various things can impact the market, right, and how people are feeling. So is that what you're thinking? You're seeing from the next 6 months?
Well, I'm actually thinking we're going to see another downturn. Actually, hopefully not this 35% that we just saw, but in my view, we came up too fast.
Okay.
I think there's too much going on with coronavirus. Florida and California are, and again, not to be political, but they're about ready to start closing shop again, closing down the states, and that's what started the 35% drop in the first place. So I'm a little concerned. That's why I stress, make sure you're invested to your risk tolerance.
Got to have a conversation and start at the top with John Holty and the crew at CBI Bank and Trust. Have you taken any time off? I mean, I feel like you've just been there a lot. Just because when Bob was here not too long ago, Bob Howard, we talked about the real estate market and the fact that folks like Dawn have just been, every time a house goes on sale in Muscatine, it's gone in a day. So mortgages are still strong, and that's healthy. But at the other end of the building, I mean, you've probably been just as busy.
Yes,
right?
We have. I mean, just helping the clients stay calm. I mean, really, it's helping them understand what's going on, what's going to happen, and that it's not the end of the world.
Has this been the most trying times? How long you been doing this? And is this?
I've been doing this for 20 years. 2008, 2009 was much worse.
Oh, okay.
That was much worse.
So
I mean, obviously it came back, but
Yeah.
you know, the downturn was slow and drawn out.
Slow burn, yeah.
And then, you know, we had some big days down and et cetera, but all of a sudden, you know, we're down big, 30% or whatever in 2009, but trying to keep your clients calm
Sure.
and keeping them from making that decision to pull all their money out of the market, because most people watch it go down, they sell here,
Sure.
it goes down to here and they feel good about themselves, then it's back up here
expensive
before
to
they
buy back
decide
in. Yeah.
to get back in, and now they don't feel like it's worth getting in at all. And
See, and that's what you got to avoid, right? You got to just hang tight if you can, because you don't want to jump ship and then you see it come back, and then it's going to cost you more to get back where you were, right? Get back in the game. I appreciate your time. I can't even imagine the amount of continuous education that's been happening. Again, even though 2008, 2009, tough times, but it's something like this pandemic has had so many implications. And shout out to you for being there for people, because I bet those phone calls have been difficult, but that's what you signed up to do, right?
yes, but
Good or
we
bad.
love our clients,
Yeah.
and we want to be there for them.
Yeah. All right. Listen, reach out to John, CBI Bank and Trust. They're here for you. If it's that initial conversation, set up that meeting. Make sure you're protected. Make sure your family's taken care of. Now I feel like I got to get a will. What do I got to do? Talk to my lawyer?
I don't know. You and I had that conversation once before, so
Will you stop it?
I haven't heard anything different. Maybe I need to get on your case about it.
Well, then give me a referral, and I'll go to insert.
We'll get you some names.
All right. I felt like I got real judged right there. He was like, I talked to you about this last time. And I was like, oh, well, the next time you're here, I'll be like, hey, John, remember when we were here the last time? I got the will. I'll have the will right
All
here. There's
right.
a scroll. I don't know.
You heard it first,
Is
right
it a
here.
Scroll?
He
Why do
said
I
it.
always think a will is like a scroll and there's a quill pen that you have to sign? Is that what it feels like? I don't know.
Not quite
Maybe
anymore.
the wills
but-
are now on iPads. I have no idea because I don't have one. But
yeah,
I
they
will
don't
soon.
use carbon paper anymore
Yeah.
either.
Here's
so.
what I know. I have, and I got good life insurance. I don't know why I'm saying that, but I told my wife, I'm like the same thing that you said, worth more when I'm not here. All right, I'm going to get that taken care of, and I'm going to stop putting my foot in my mouth. Visit CBI Bank and Trust online, or reach out to John and the crew and have a conversation, and I will get the will rocking and rolling, I promise.
All right.
I raise my right hand and repeat after me. All right, let's go. CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam is now on the move. Look at this. This is fantastic. Our guy Brad is downtown, and we are at the new roundabout. Is it open? It looks open. Is this open on Mulberry? Maybe. Maybe. This is kind of exciting. Look at this. So Brad is downtown Muscatine, and we are at the new roundabout. Okay, so it is not officially open yet. It'll be open later. It looks great. I've gone as far, well, I don't want to say I've driven through it because I haven't, right, out of respect for the crews that are working, but I've gotten close, but I haven't seen this perspective. Look at the landscaping. It looks fantastic. A lot bigger than you realize, right? Yeah, Brad, if you want to walk the roundabout, that would be cool. So that's a live shot, CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam, the new roundabout. So Brad is kind of on the corner of 2nd and Mulberry. You can see Great River Tires there. So the Musser Public Library would be behind him. And Brad is going to be, is Brad the first person that's walked the roundabout on live TV? Certainly people have probably gone through it. You're not supposed to, right? There's probably been bicyclists, but as far as somebody on foot, I like that landscaping a lot. That looks great. Good job, Brad. Yeah, this is super cool. Hey, Chris, have Brad turn around so we can see the library. I love the glass bridge at H&I. And look at this. By the way, why didn't I give Brad my Fitbit? I could have got all these steps. And look, oh, I like the signs. Those look good. The street signs look fantastic. So there's the Musser Public Library, of course. One of the best places in town, right? Look at the landscaping. Wow. Yeah, that looks super cool. So you'll be able to cruise the... remember when it was a big deal when 2nd Street went to a two-way? Now you'll be able to cruise on the new roundabout later today. So if you're watching live, I'm going to be the guy that does it, right? If anything, I got to take something to the post office before they close, so I'm hoping that it's open in a little bit. Now watch Brad as he walks across the new vegetation. No, Brad, don't do it. Stay on the sidewalk. That's super cool, though. All right. Listen, that's great. I love how that looks, and it's a lot of work. And, roundabouts can be... Hey, Chris, have him take some pictures and then come back. Yeah, have him take some pics. Go some, wide angle, because then we'll show those to you. So, and I don't know why, roundabouts are controversial. They shouldn't be. I love the one on Cedar Street. The thing is, you just have to remember how to yield, right? So that's it, and then it makes things flow so much quicker. So that's outstanding to be able to have that live shot for you, and we'll have some pictures in just a little bit. Okay, my wife is telling me. My son. Oh, I'm going to tell you this because it's funny. My 5-year-old had an appointment with ENT this morning because his ear has been giving him some issues, and maybe it's the tube working or not. And my wife just said that he had some choice words for the doctor. Because no kid ever likes, I don't want to say, I'll just leave it at that, choice words for the doctor. Nobody likes getting prodded around, right? You're 5 years old, and I'm not proud that he knows choice words. It's my wife's fault. I guess Ted had some things to say about getting his ear checked. But we're thankful for ENT, and we're thankful for Unity Point Health. So if it was Brooke or Doug, I'm not sure who we saw at ENT, ear, nose, and throat. But I apologize if Ted had some things to say. Again, he gets that language from my wife's side of the family. My side, we never say anything bad, ever. Ever. I don't think I've ever sworn in my whole life, guys. You believe that? My whole life. Certainly not on this show. Not once. 2 years. No bad words. 11 years in radio. Not one bad word. Pretty good. All right. I'm going to mention a couple of things I didn't get to at the start. I guess the thing that I'll tell you is you're walking in the store today at Hy-Vee. You're going to notice somebody standing at the door with the mask it up, shut it down, shirt on, and the option to give you a face mask if you choose. It's your choice, right? So we've got somebody at the door right now. We also have my friend Pam, who's wiping down and sanitizing all the grocery carts, which we've been doing since March. Mask it up to shut down COVID is new. And as I mentioned, you walk in, again, your choice. We've got a box of the medical grade face masks. I've got, the mask here, and I wear it as soon as the show's over, and it's just one of those things. Oh, we have a box of masks right here. This is pretty much what they're using, I think. So and these are for sale, of course. These are the disposable, right, protective mask. So this is what Hy-Vee is offering at all stores today on the 27th, and yeah, I just wanted to mention that to you. Yeah, that's 50 of them, huh? Wow, awesome. So we've got that. We certainly have a lot of good hand sanitizer options as well. And then, I've got right here on the set, speaking of masks, these are in aisle 6 in the seasonal aisle, the Muscatine ones. And Chad, this is a good segue. We can get to our picture of the CBI crew donating. So Muskie masks are here. We've got the Wilton ones and the Falcons. So I had been contacted by a parent of one of the Muskie softball players last week. I think it was Jamie Cook, reached out and said, would we ever want to donate some masks? And I said, I got a better idea. So I reached out to that guy. Look at Bob wearing the Muskie mask. Isn't that marvelous? So Bob Howard, President, CEO with CBI Bank and Trust, friend of the show, friend of mine. I sent Bob an email, and I said, hey, Bob, I got an idea. What do you think about CBI donating 25 of the Muskie face masks to the team? And he said, okay. So this was on Friday afternoon at 4:30. We got some Muskie softball parents. You've got Matt Schweitzer, store director for Muscatine, Hy-Vee, and Hy-Vee Main Street. And B.O.B. Bob Howard. And then Hy-Vee donated some water, granola bars, and Gatorade. So, and somebody commented on the picture, what about L&M? Listen, I didn't get contacted by anybody from L&M. That's not to say that we haven't supported the Falcons. We have, certainly over the years. I invite Brian Butler on this show whenever he wants to, when he's not, coaching a team in a state tournament, they're more than welcome to come on, and we're happy to support, as many area schools as possible. Just reach out, ask the questions. We love doing it, and we're here for all of you. I hope you know that, right? So we're excited to see what happens with respects to the state softball tourney, and there's the masks right there. Okay, so those are, again, in aisle 6. They're going quick. I think we still have we have a lot of the Muskie ones. We'd ordered a lot. We have a decent amount of the Falcon ones, although those have gone quick too. And then the Wilton ones, I think there's some left in aisle 6. Okay, very good. So today, let's do this. The 27th of July. Do you know that it is National Scotch Day? Right? I don't know, besides Ron Burgundy, who is a Scotch connoisseur, when the last time I've personally had Scotch was, it's been a while, by the way. But here on National Scotch Day, we've got a couple options for you. The one is the, I don't even know how to say this. Is it the Macallan Highland Single Malt Scotch Whiskey. This is 12 years old right here, and I know that because you know what I love about the Scotch? Look at the boxes, right? Aren't those nice? So that's 12 years old. I'm going to guess the price. I bet it's over $50. And then this is the Tomatin Highland Single Malt Scotch Whiskey. Look at these. Product of Scotland. I mean, you're paying for the box as much as you are the Scotch, right? I mean, those are really nice looking packages, right? Let me turn that one around. And then you do this move, and it's Scotchy, Scotch, right? So, and by the way, great Hy-Vee bag, right? Look at that. Don't forget Hy-Vee wine and spirits every time you buy 6 bottles of wine, and it says it right there, you save 10%. Now listen, I don't think the same is said on 6 bottles of Scotch, but you can always ask, right? What if I buy 6 bottles of Scotch? Well, in moderation, right? But look at this. I mean, this is, matured exclusively in the perfect balance of hand-picked, sherry, seasoned. I mean, they're like, even just holding it, I feel like I need to be very careful. There you go. All right. So if you're doing the Scotch on National Scotch Day, go to Wine and Spirits. Great selection, right? Today, and there's a little Scotch on the rocks, right? Oh, yeah. Scotch on the rocks. The Rock. Sean Connery had Scotch on the Rock. Have you seen The Rock? How's that Sean Connery? Not the best. I can do better. Don't pressure me. It's Monday. It's not bad. Today's Love is Kind Day. Right? Love is Kind Day. Got a little bit of, I feel like you go to a lot of weddings, you hear what this card says a lot, right? Love is kind. If you're going to get the one you love, maybe some roses, little note. Love is patient and kind. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. And then, look at that. Oh, this is kind of fun. The best kind of friend, a little best friend action here. So you're going to show kindness to your best friends. Maybe you get your friend a card, you get your friend a bottle of Scotch. Hello, best friend. I know you love Scotch. I got you a card, and I got you roses. The roses were cheaper than the Scotch. Right? The roses are $10. The Scotch is not. So check that out. And then the last thing, well, 2 things. It's Creme Brulee Day. So creme brulee is a very fancy dessert. You know who can make a creme brulee? And he I think Scott's off, isn't he? Yeah. Or the kitchen could do a creme brulee. What's cool about creme brulee is when they use the torch at the end of the dessert process, they do a little, and they literally like burn. I'm sure it's not called burning the sugar. It's probably called. So creme brulee is French for burnt cream, Chris says. So I wasn't technically wrong. Creme brulee is fantastic. I mean, they did have it on the menu at DeBeats when Chef Scott was there, so he probably knows. It's one of those things you look at it and you're like, I don't know. And then I believe those are called ramekins that they're served in. Circle gets the square on that. You could probably get a creme brulee at the Merrill. Chef Tess probably doing creme brulee, right? It's just fun to play with the fire. Here's your dessert that I used. I mean, how many desserts can you use fire on? Not too many. And then the last thing I'll say on the calendar, today is National New Jersey Day. So shout out to New Jersey, right? I've been listening to a podcast on my phone called Talking Sopranos, which is a recap of every episode of The Sopranos, hosted by two of the stars, Steve Sciarippa and Michael Imperioli, and a lot of it was filmed in New Jersey. I mean, there's people that go on tours in New Jersey just to see the locations that they used for The Sopranos, so that's just marvelous. All right, let me do this. Toyota Muscatine, what's in the box? It's heavy. My first initial comment is that the Toyota Muscatine what's in the box is heavy. How about Toyota Muscatine, by the way, sponsoring that baseball tournament this weekend? Perfect weather. Yes, it was hot. They had a great setup at Kentstein Park. A lot of the crew is down there. Jimmy Greenhaw and Frank Cruz and Logan, and they did awesome. TJ Deere and the crew, so good on you, Toyota Muscatine. All right, I got to close my eyes. I almost looked. Okay. Oh, boy. Oh, this feels like a snack item. Chris, it's just one thing? Okay. Did you give me a hint earlier that I forgot about? What's the hint? Scotch. Okay. Wait, Scotch. Is this something that goes with Scotch? Is it a certain kind of snack that goes well with Scotch? Okay. I'm trying to feel it out without damaging it. Is it candy? Is it candy? That's my guess. Oh, look at that. Butterscotch. Nice. Nice. Is it candy? Yeah, that's fantastic. All right. Good on ya. Little Hy-Vee butterscotch buttons. So whether it is the real scotch or the butterscotch, we've got you covered. Do they pair well together? Is this a pairing waiting to happen? I've got this 12-year-old Macallan, and you're going to take one sip of the Macallan and have one bite of the butterscotch candy. Welcome to my pairing party. I don't know if they go well together. The sweetness from the candy complements the burning of the throat from the scotch. Brr. Probably not. You're not going to garnish your scotch on the rocks. Well, what you do is you crush the butterscotch candy and you dip the glass like a margarita, the rim, and then you take a sip. But probably not. The scotch purists that are watching are like, you just put the scotch in a glass with frozen water. You don't even use ice. You use those frozen rocks because you don't want to get any impurities on the scotch. I feel like if you're drinking scotch, you're like, I just want it neat. No mixer, no ice, just scotch. Room temperature scotch. Whew. Even though that stuff's probably really good, I bet you take a sip and you do this move. Ooh, yeah, that's strong. How do you not? Even if you're like a seasoned scotch drinker, you're like, oh. It's scotchy. It's good. No, it's really good. Oh, I'm probably just going to have this one, though. Yeah, that's what you do. Nobody drinks more than 2 glasses of scotch, right? Okay, we're waiting to see if Brad comes back, unless he's sending you pictures of the roundabout. Otherwise, I can stall. That's fine. I have things I need to mention anyway. So, Ron, now listen, you want to talk about another Ron that loves scotch. That's Ron Swanson, of course, from Parks and Rec. He loves scotch and bacon, that guy. By the way, if you haven't seen Parks and Recreation, you should watch it. It's hilarious. All right, let's do this. Somebody else, you have to smell it? Why do you have to smell it so intensely? Is that picture next to the Ron Swanson one, by the way? Are they right next to each other? You couldn't Look at that. You couldn't have more of a contrast. That dude is like nose deep in that thing. Like how long do you have to smell it for? That guy looks like a supervillain, right? You have to put your nose right in the glass. Click on that link. Let's go to Forbes.com. I guess I got to learn how to love it, huh? 6 tips for learning to love single malt scotch. It is National Scotch Day. Symbol of style, class, and sophistication. All right, let's look at this list then. So there's the article. This is from Forbes.com. They must have it. Do they have it broken out into 6 tips? What do they got here? Oh my gosh, this is a lot. Start with the unpeated scotch. What does that even mean? Oh my gosh. I don't even know. Okay, there you go. Learn how to love scotch in moderation, of course. Wow. Start with a nose of, oh, it smells like scotch. It is scotch. All right, come into the store today. Make My Monday. It's going on. Turn steak, turn seafood, deli purchases into cheap gas. This is such an awesome deal, right? So with every $20 you spend, 15 cents on the fuel saver. So you come in and spend $40, you're going to get a 30-cent fuel saver. Let me take a sip of this Starbucks. I've got a tickle in my throat. I think the only thing that'll cure it is scotch. Scotch. Meet Seafood Deli today. Spend more, save more. Steak-powered car, seafood-powered car. I don't like paying full price on gas. I love the Hy-Vee fuel saver. They don't have that at any other place in town. Might as well come in and take advantage of it, okay? The $10 dozen rose deal. A rose by any other name is just, the saying about the roses, right? I've got a couple different varieties. Muscatine, you guys, Muscatine County, y'all love a good deal on roses. We started last week with 400 dozen roses. We had 12 left as of yesterday, and we've got more roses. They're $10. Somebody's got the best ringtone ever. They're $10 for a dozen roses, variety of colors, ready to go. As we were starting the show this morning, Catherine and Amber at the floral shop were literally cutting fresh roses, right? Cutting them, and then, so there you go. And then, Chad, I just want people to understand, this right here, this is I have 24 roses in front of me, okay? $20. It's less than $1 a rose. I'm not good at math, but that's less than $1 a rose. So look at that. $20, 2 dozen roses, or just 1 dozen for 10, however many you need. It's a fantastic deal. We mentioned that we've got the face masks for school, even though they're not required yet. If it's something that you're looking for, Hy-Vee has them. Aisle 6, Muscatine, L&M, and Wilton. While they last, check that out. We also had on Friday some of the Iowa Wave face masks. I think those all sold out. That was a cool deal. Now it was $12, but here's the thing: the entire 100% of the proceeds went to the University of Iowa Stead Family Children's Hospital. So that's pretty cool. So I'll double check, but I think those sold out on Friday. But these are still in aisle 6, so check that out. Do we have pictures of the roundabout? Is that what you guys were saying? Okay. Do you want to go to those? And then I'll mention a couple of things and we'll get out of here. So look at that. Oh, that's live video, isn't it? Is that from inside the library? Look at that. Man, why does it not look, it's until you get a perspective like that, you understand how big that roundabout is. Isn't that massive? So this is a live look from inside the Musser Public Library, and I think that's Brad's hand. So that was a live look at Brad's hand. And then I think Brad sent some pictures we're going to show you here in just a second. Again, the new roundabouts, Mulberry and 2nd Street, open for business later on today. We're sitting here doing the show right now. It's 9:21 in the morning. So maybe by the time you see this, you already have driven it. Wouldn't that be cool? You've driven the roundabout. You're in the future. So here you go. Here's some good shots. I like those signs a lot. Is that weird to say? I want my street sign to look like that. Some more pics that Brad took this morning. Again, Musser Public Library in the background. Very well landscaped. Good job to the crews that did that. It's a lot of work, right? Doing a roundabout. And it'll be one of those things, you'll drive it once, you'll be like, oh, this is cool. And then it'll just become nature, a habit, right? You'll just do the old loop. Maybe the first thing you'll do today, I'll probably do this, you just do the whole loop. I don't know which direction I want to go. I got so many options. Where do I go? Do I go to the River Drive? Do I go to 2nd Street? I don't know where I'm going to go. I'm just going to go in a circle. Can you get a ticket for going around in a circle and a roundabout? Find out. Find out. You just don't stop in the middle of it. That's my advice, is don't stop in the middle of the roundabout. All right, a couple things and we'll get out of here. The pharmacy with the contact-free options, they can get you taken care of in the drive-thru. You can get prescriptions mailed to your house if you want to. You can come in and get a shingle shot. Very soon we'll have drive-thru flu shots, which I'm excited about. That'll be in August, which is almost here, right? And in the meanwhile, let the pharmacy help keep you safe and healthy if you are trying to social distance, if you're doing a little bit of self-isolating. We've got the drive-through. We're delivering scripts. We'll get you taken care of. It's that easy. I think we can skip the one-step stuff just because I don't know if that's still going on. And let's mention, my wife just texted me what Ted said at his doctor's appointment. Oh, no. Woo! Yeah. Anyways, let's mention the July food court deals before I get my 5-year-old in trouble. So today's Monday. You know what? I should get Ted some crab rangoons. That kid loves crab rangoons. 66 cents each. He does the move with the crab rangoon where he's just really after the filling, and then you've got leftover, like, you know, the crispy ends of the crab rangoon. $4 9-inch sub sandwich, $3.99 hot turkey sandwich, $3 personal pizza, or the Good Start breakfast for $5 here at the store, ready to go. All right, and I think we'll go on that note. So, listen, thank you for watching. Thanks to our friend John Holte with CBI Bank and Trust, Senior Vice President and Senior Trust Officer. Very smart guy, sharp as a tack, knows a lot about investments, can help you out. Any questions you have, I highly recommend you reach out to John. And I want to thank him for being here. I want to thank Toyota Muscatine for their support and Lutheran Living Senior Campus. And good luck, by the way, to the Muskie softball team, right? So before our next show tomorrow, the Muskies will have played. They're playing at 1 o'clock, so in a couple hours from now. State softball tournament. I think they're playing West Des Moines. Does that sound right? I was trying to look at the pairing. I think that's right for Muscatine. And then tomorrow, our friends at L&M will play in the state tournament. Muscatine, first time they've been at state for softball since 2014. L&M certainly been there the last 3 years at least, maybe longer. If I got that wrong, I apologize. We wish both those teams well, and we'll certainly give you an update on tomorrow's show. There's great send-offs for both teams, so they're in Des Moines. They're getting ready to play, and we hope for the best for them. All right. I mentioned everything I think I need to, right? Feeling good. Another week. Last week of July, right? August starts on Saturday. Can you believe that? Wasn't it just, Memorial Day? Wasn't it just 4th of July? And here you go. Month is over. Maybe it's a new beginning. Maybe you'll start it by going through the roundabout to deliver your significant other some $10 roses. Tell them they were $100. We got your back, right? Listen, these roses, I grew them myself. We were talking about that this morning. Where are they grow? Where are these roses from? I don't know. But listen, this is a good deal, and we'll have more good deals to tell you about later this week on the show. There you go. West Des Moines Valley. Oh, they're in Fort Dodge. Okay, I was kind of wrong with where they were at, but that's fine. They're in Fort Dodge. And that was a post from Muscatine High School 13 minutes ago. Seems like you can stream the game through the state, whatever, IHS. Just go to the Muscatine High School Facebook page or Twitter. They'll have a link for you, and we'll probably share it on the Hy-Vee page so you don't miss it. And good luck to the Muskies. Okay, thanks for watching this show. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day or a good evening. Maybe you need the umbrella one more day, and that's all right. In the meanwhile, that's it for us. Bye.
Thanks for watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone.
Be very, very quiet while hunting wabbits.
We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in Wilton this Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.